Hey, it's Taryn. Hopefully you are continuing your 5 habits and you are already seeing the huge results that these simple little things can do. Today's tip comes to you with the grocery shopping in mind. And so this is, of course, our Redefine Your Health and our July Refocus. But this is something that can seem so simple, and yet people often don't do it. So what I'm about to talk to you about is how to shop the perimeter at the grocery store, because our food was meant to be grown and it was meant to be raised. Sometimes there's a little bit of manipulation that needs to happen, such as churning milk in order to get butter and have something different. But it really wasn't meant to be so heavily processed. And so when you are shopping the perimeter, you are getting food that is going to be as close to the way nature provided it as possible, or at least that's a concept of it. Stay away from those ends where they're marketing to you. But our food was not meant to be stored and available for consumption 18 years later, 5 years later, 6 months later. It was meant to actually go bad because it was so good for you. And so when they have to add different things, preservatives, to make the storage life better, then that's something that our body wasn't accustomed to. The other thing, when they're wanting it to look pretty, well, that's where you're gonna see dyes, that's where you're going to see binders and things that are meant to make it look pretty in the long term. And so not necessarily things that can be helpful to your body. And so the key thing is you wanna stick to the perimeter, because this is where you're gonna find those whole real foods. It is going to be where you are going to find the meat that is going to be less processed and as close to the animal that it came from as possible. You're gonna find the produce. What is produce? It's your fruits and vegetables. And you can also pay attention. There's little stickers that will show you what level it was grown at. And so was it grown organically? Does that mean that it was grown with less of the fungicides, herbicides, pesticides than normal? And so paying attention to what those little labels mean can really help you out. Is it something grown in its natural state, or has it been genetically modified? That would be a GMO. And so, but either way, getting in that perimeter is going to help you. This is where you're gonna find the dairy that is less processed. So it's not meant to be in a package that's gonna stay good for 2 years. And so as close to how nature provided it, how God gave it to us, and as little manipulation as possible is really what you're looking for. And the key way to just avoid a lot of the nonsense is to avoid the middle section of the grocery store. Now, of course, that doesn't apply completely, because we can find frozen fruits and veggies, we can find some frozen meats in there, but overall, if you really focus on shopping the perimeter, you're gonna see that your health will absolutely take an uptick. And many people think that if they start shopping the perimeter, if they go towards a healthier lifestyle, that they are going to spend more. I have found that this is absolutely not the case. When you eat food that actually has more nutrients, you are satisfied much quicker. And so when you're eating a lot of junk food and empty foods, that's where your system is like, man, I didn't get what I needed. Keep feeding me, keep feeding me, keep feeding me. And so that's that constant craving. And so if you really start to get these really good foods in you, then your body is not going to consume as much. Therefore, you're going to spend less and you're actually going to be more satisfied. And so in a lot of ways, this is actually saving your bottom dollar. And so hopefully you enjoyed this tip, but go shop that perimeter this week.